Hello everyone, it's Rayna. I have been talking on my channel about how important self-care is, how our mental health is as important as our physical one. Essentially, I try to raise awareness about the existence of mental health issues and to really give the message that there's nothing wrong if you are struggling. I personally have had depression with panic attacks, and I have been lucky not to be stigmatized about that. However, I know many people out there who not only have mental health illnesses, but also are facing stigma, mockery, guilt, and shame. It's okay not to be okay. It's not okay to be stigmatized or to stigmatize. In my last video, I talk about understanding and compassion towards people who are struggling with mental health issues and how that is extremely helpful and beneficial for everybody with mental health illnesses. It is a short one, I'll link it here in the corner and down below in the description box. But how do we provide understanding and compassion? How do we help our friends and family members if they're struggling? How do we help somebody we care about who acknowledges or not that they're suffering? If somebody, and I assume that you care about this somebody, comes to you with a story or shares what burdens their mind and starts crying on your shoulder and the problem doesn't seem that important or that heavy to you, what is the response we tend to give? Of course, with all the love and respect we have for that person, genuinely wanting to help them. Oh, don't worry, honey, it will pass. It's not that big of a deal. You'll manage to deal with whatever. Come on, toughen up. Look, I've been in a similar situation. Nothing terrible happened. I did this and that. If you need anything, call me, okay? Some might even add, don't waste your time with such bullshit. Focus on something else. Be more productive. Be more positive. And we think we have provided support. We have shown our friend that objectively the situation isn't that terrible, that there are worse situations, better opportunities, that they need to toughen up, and that what is my favorite. And we have shown that we are available if that person needs any help. Good job, right? Well, it doesn't really work that way. On the contrary, it even has the opposite effect. Why? For several reasons, and I'll give you 6 tips you can follow if you want to be able to really help your loved ones if they're struggling. So, 1, you need to understand that your perspective isn't your friend's perspective. Your perception isn't your friend's perception. Also, one's perception can even change according to the situation and depending on how emotionally full the person is at a given time. So you need to take into consideration that you are not your friend, and you need to accept that how you perceive your friend's problem isn't how they perceive it, especially from an emotional point of view. For example, if I lose my job, I might feel anxious and depression might start kicking in. If my friend lost her job, she might say, great, an opportunity to learn new skills and open my own bakery, let's dive in. And that leads me to 2. Listen carefully to your friend or family member. While they talk and open up about their emotions and concerns, they're revealing what is bothering them the most, what scares them, what really triggers their anxiety. This is when you get an idea of their emotional state and will help you really understand what they're going through and how they feel. Try to listen with as much understanding as possible. Ask questions if you need to clarify exactly what happened and how they feel. You can even simply say out loud that you understand how they feel. Try to clear your head from prejudices and just be present. Sometimes when the mental health issue isn't too deep, this is all we need, someone who listens to us with understanding. But 3, don't bring the conversation towards yourself, your stories, your experiences, your emotions, and your thoughts. This is a big mistake we tend to do because we think that showing our own example might be helpful. I absolutely understand that, and I am guilty of sometimes trying to comfort someone by giving them my story, which to me sounds even harder, hoping to give them strength to deal with whatever they're dealing with. When someone is struggling with their own mental health issue and you care about them and genuinely want to help them, now it's their time, not yours. Position yourself as the listener, not the talker. Let them talk, let them pour it all out, let them take it all off their chest. Don't interrupt unless it's absolutely necessary. And 4, ask relevant questions. What I mean by that is questions relevant to the story your friend is telling you, so you better get the whole picture. You can also ask questions about how they feel, what they feel, why do they feel it, but also, and most importantly, instead of saying, call me if you need anything, ask, how can you help? Or even better, if you're an expert, propose a specific thing you can do and you're happy to do. Call someone, lend money, offer a ride, offer to feed the cat when they're away dealing with something. Anything specific that can relieve your friend from a burden. But of course, 5, don't jeopardize yourself or put yourself in a difficult situation. Yes, we love our family members and our friends and we want to take care of them. But first, we need to take care of ourselves. I'm not saying to be selfish, only to do things that we can do. If your friend has developed anxiety because they need an expensive surgery, for instance, but they don't have the money and you don't have it either, I'm not saying to go bankrupt and give them everything. You could offer to help create a charity fundraiser, for example. And what you can also do, and I highly encourage you to do, is to 6, suggest your friend to seek professional help. You're not a therapist, I'm not a therapist, and there's only so much that we can do to help people around us. If the person we care about has some light mental health issues, steps 1 to 5 are very likely to work and do wonders for that person so that they feel a lot better. But if they're really struggling with serious mental health illnesses, if depression is very deep, if there are dark and suicidal thoughts, if the panic attacks are unbearable, then therapy and proper medication is what will help. And what you can do is to really encourage therapy. Not insist, of course, because if one doesn't want to go to therapy and you must drag them against their will, it won't work. You can only sing therapist's praises and be supportive without rushing or forcing anything. Do you already implement those steps? Which one do you find the most difficult? Please let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to have your feedback. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please give me a thumbs up if you found it helpful. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing and make sure to click on that notification bell so you won't miss my next video. In the meantime, you can find me also on Instagram at Vinarska. Please take care of yourselves both physically and mentally. Bye!